Now, how can Vue help us with this snapping behavior we got here, which is not too nice to look at? It adds another special class when you're using transition group. So when it's actually controlling multiple elements instead of just one. Because you might not notice it, actually, whilst we're only adding and removing one element at a time here, we are animating multiple elements simultaneously because the other elements also need to switch their position when a new item is added. And that's why we use transition group. It is capable of animating multiple elements. And it gives us a special class, therefore, which allows us to control the animation of the other elements which are not getting added or removed, but which also might need to move around to make place for the new element or to fill up the space of the leaving element. And the special class we add here is our prefix, so user list in this case, since that's the prefix we defined here with the name property. And then dash move. That's another special CSS class which Vue will add to all the other elements which are not entering or leaving. And even better than that, Vue will automatically move them to their new place under the hood by using the transform CSS property. That's just something you have to know. Vue will use transform under the hood for moving the elements which are not added or removed around to their new position. And therefore here in the move class, we can actually transition the transform property on those elements, let's say over 0.8 seconds, with a ease function. So just ease to distribute the time evenly. Now if we save that and go back, we'll be able to see that if we reload and add a new user, Praveen for example, you see the other elements move smoothly to their new position. Now if we reload and try this for removing though, we still have this snapping behavior. There's one thing we gotta fix for that to work on the leave active class, so which is added to the leaving element. We need to add a position of absolute. Once we add that to the leaving element and I reload, now you see the other elements move as well, and they move to their new position. Now the rest of the page jumps, but that's something we can't avoid here. But inside of that list, we have a smooth animation for entering items, but also for leaving items, and for the rest of the list for all the items that need to move to a new position. And that is how transition group can help us here. It allows us to animate items in a list, multiple items at the same time. It allows us to move items smoothly, even if they're not directly affected. So even if they're not the added or removed item. And therefore, it is the component you should use if you want to add multiple items. If you have one item or two alternating items you want to animate, transition is the component you should use. Because that component is optimized for animating single items or alternating items like these two buttons.